You're listening to Lifestyle Locker Radio with Dr. Josh Hant. Hi, I'm Dr. Josh Hant, and welcome to the Lifestyle Locker Radio, where we dive into what makes an awesome lifestyle. From relationships to money mindset, nutrition to fitness, emotional health to peak performance, we bring you on an amazing journey to unleashing your human potential. Hello, Locker Nation. This is Dr. Josh Hant, and I want to let you know that today's interviewee is me, the interviewer is me, and, all the above is me. Now, all kidding aside, I'm doing this episode today because we are actually approaching our 100th episode, and I am so grateful for all of you that are listening for this very important reason. One, and the only reason is that you love what I love and you are interested in increasing your health and longevity and having the best and most awesome lifestyle you can, right? Our slogan is unleashing your human potential. And by listening to this over the course of these 94 episodes, you can get one heck of an education on health, on finances, on fitness, on nutrition, on detox, so many things, on mindset. So I'm going to just kind of run through because I love everybody that's on the show so far because I actually asked them to be on the show. Some people actually have asked me, which is very cool. It's an honor to have that opportunity to be asked to be on, someone to be on my show. But I'm very excited to share all of these people with you. And let me just kind of run down, my first episode, going back and listening to me talk about myself. Holy cow. I feel that I've grown so much, one as a podcaster, but two as someone that is willing to be open and listen and learn from experts and people that have had amazing and scary and sometimes almost near-death experiences, and they're able to share that life with us as a collective, as a Lifestyle Locker Nation, so we can all grow from it. So me personally, I've had some great things happen in my health and my longevity and my fitness and my money and all these areas just because of listening to what our guests say. My first episode, holy cow, crazy, right? Don't listen to it if you haven't. It's not that great. I'm just kidding. It isn't that great. I'm not kidding. It isn't that great. And going up to the next guy that we had on the next episode was Dr. Jason Richardson. And man, this guy, the gold medal mindset, the way he going from an Olympic athlete to becoming someone that helps other athletes get better mindset. Just listening to Dr. Jason go, it was like such an amazing experience for me. And it made me want to become a better person, even though I thought I was doing a pretty good job. So, thank Dr. Jason Richardson. We had Dr. Nima Rahmani, who is, real and raw and really relevant also in the mindset world. And I kind of hit a bunch right off the bat, all mindset. And we hit Will Bowen, who's an amazing author and a person who's got his book series called Complaint-Free Living. If you have not got those or not purchased those yet, I would say definitely get some of his books. It is a really great way to live. They have stuff on relationships and personal things. Definitely worth getting. Garrett Gunderson, Dr. Eric Plasker, these two were powerhouses. Eric Plasker talks about the 100-year lifestyle and living from the inside out to 100 years and beyond. His episode is really great. We're deeply in my profession as a chiropractor connected with him because he helps teach other chiropractors how to be awesome and spread the word of longevity and wellness to everyone. Really cool. Garrett Gunderson, my goodness, this guy's got a brain on him for finances. If you have not listened to the episode with Doctor, he's pretty much a doctor of money. He's not a doctor, but Garrett Gunderson, if you've not listened to his episode, you got to do it. Listen in the show notes. He actually will, or look in the show notes and listen to the episode. You will actually get a code to download his book, What Would the Rockefellers Do? It is simply awesome. It is starting to change my financial future as we speak. So make sure you do jump on and get that book. It's awesome. I believe there's a free PDF if you listen to the episode. So get in there and get the ebook. Karen Osborne, man, this woman's a powerhouse businesswoman and mom, and man, she's evolved over time. I've been able to following her since she's kind of got into this podcast world, into the business world outside of her chiropractic practice, and she's helping women, just light up and grow and become more powerful as women, which is great. Men and women should both listen to this episode. It's really cool. The doctors Wolfson, one's a chiropractor, one's a cardiologist. Hey, like that married matchmaking right there. That's amazing. These two are absolute powerhouses. And for me, being able to connect with them and being able to speak on a stage with them and being able to, call them friends is an amazing thing. But they can kind of get into your health and well-being in a very different way. Dr. Jack Wolfson hits really hard on nutrition and changing your lifestyle from the inside out that way, which can have a huge impact on your heart health, but not only your heart health, your whole life. And his wife, Dr. Heather Wolfson, awesome chiropractor, amazing person, awesome mom. Well, he's an awesome dad too. But these people have impacted my life and been able to, use some of his principles after reading his book in our practice and share things with our patients. So cool, right? We have people like Dr. Janice Hughes, also an awesome money mindset person. Kathy Colby on pediatrics and chiropractic and being a badass mom. Austin Cohen being a crazy athlete, going in from mindset and fitness. Also a chiropractor, as crazy as it sounds. Really cool. This guy, the next one I want to share just a little bit. I know we're kind of going through everything. I'm doing this so you can actually jump back and dive into these episodes and have some kind of reference if you haven't listened. Dr. Zach Bush. This guy has got a brain on his shoulders. Holy cow. Triple board certified medical doctor. He gets into glyphosate, which is a GMO, right? We've heard genetically modified foods. He talks about how these things are actually tearing us apart as humans and other different things. But really, how does this affect the human being's biology, these chemicals and everything? And he finding ways to actually help fight and strengthen the human body up so we can fight against these toxins that are being put into our body. Pete Ritali, another awesome chiro, high energy, talks about fitness. He was a bodybuilder and on TV for many years. Dr. Dan Pompa, super cool. This doc, he talks about detox and getting your body well down to the cellular level. Detoxing and cleaning and pulling heavy metals out of your system, even pulling heavy metals out of your brain, being able to help things like autism, being able to help things, all things health-wise, right? If we get our cells healthy, our body will slowly start to get healthy, right? So cool. Casper Vandermeulen. This guy was really, really interesting. I absolutely love Casper. He is the first person to tell me that, hey, listen, you should consider jumping into a cold shower and possibly doing an ice bath. He's actually Wim Hof's, he likes to like when I say this, but his head or lead trainer. You all heard of the Iceman Wim Hof. Not to put Casper down. Casper is amazing. He's got a book called Mind Lift. He's got an amazing following himself. Get his book. You can follow him on social media. This guy has transformed his life through breath work, through cold immersion, through movement, and connection and community. Very, very, very cool. I love this guy. We're definitely going to have him on the show again. Travis Barton. This guy's a life coach. Really neat. I've only had one life coach on, and I chose him. He's a really cool guy, and he's got a book out now. I highly recommend jumping into his book. Listen, you're going to be reading a lot if you're listening to this. And also make sure you do listen, because it's a lot easier to plug some headphones in and listen. And then you can jump in and grab these guest books. So Travis Barton goes, from his pain to purpose and finding out who he is. And I saw a great post with him, really funny. Just want to throw us on there is that he figured he started some of his best coaching when he was a bartender, right? Then he ultimately got trained and everything, but he realized a lot of his learning came from that. Another cool guy from across the pond. Casper's across the pond. This guy, Scott Riley from Northern Ireland. super cool guy, trained by Casper, trained by Wim Hof. He was connected to me from Casper or through Casper, and also this guy has great programs that he helps put people through. Great mindset, has also transformed his life. His story is awesome as well. I highly recommend listening to that one. Dr. Jeff Langmaid on some of the science behind chiropractic and research. Really cool stuff. If you're nerdy like me and like content, Jeff gets into some of that, and it's worth listening to. If you're a skeptic on chiropractic, he's definitely one you want to listen to as well. Dr. Steven Sinatra, very, very, I would say probably one of the best, if not the number one integrative cardiologist in the world. This guy's got years and years and years, and then more years of education when it comes to cardiologists. He's not one that's actually pushing meds much anymore, if not any at all. He is all into lifestyle shift, lifestyle change. You know, when I get on the phone with a cardiologist, I'm expecting to hear some nerdy stuff, and we end up talking about grounding, like barefoot in the grass every day type of stuff. Grounding and nutrition, and like, holy cow. Listen, if you know anybody that's having heart issues, if you know people that don't want any heart issues, how about that? You should also jump in and listen to Dr. Steven Sinatra, Dr. Dan Sullivan, Dr. Thad Gala. These two are powerhouses as well. Dan Sullivan, chiropractor, we get into the brain and how the brain gets impacted through chiropractic, how you actually don't actually have a back problem, you actually have a brain problem. This is a neat concept to understand. Dive into his episode, learn. He's someone you definitely want to connect with in the chiropractic world and learn from. Dr. Thaddeus Gala is also a chiropractor, but he has a huge facility, wellness facility, where he's helping people get off medications, heal from conditions that people say you can't, that you need to be on meds for the rest of your life. He is proving that not to be true every single day in his practice. Peter Reggio, really cool guy. Peter, we dive into a couple episodes with him on CBD, cannabis, hemp oil. We dive into some of the nitty gritty as far as the legality. We dive into the science. We dive into the differences of the different types. And a lot of people that don't understand hemp or cannabis or CBD, these two episodes that we have with him are absolutely fantastic. The next one, this guy will blow your mind and make you go quantum. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a master, absolute master at teaching meditation, how people can get connected to their quantum world. This is so cool. I took one of his courses, live courses, multi-day courses, and one of the most wild experiences I've ever had in my life. And I tell you this, having experiences like fire walks and sweat lodges and skydiving and bungee jumping, all these like crazy things that are really intense. Dr. Joe Dispenza's program and what he talks about is some of the most mind-blowing things you'll ever hear. And he has the science to back up everything he talks about, which will even blow your mind even more. The next guy, a few of you may know, he's not that popular, but his name is Dr. Josh Axe. I'm kidding. You know, this guy got probably more than 15 million views on his website every single month. Dr. Josh and I talk about, life. We kind of get into a neat conversation, doctor to doctor, and talk about healing foods and certain nutrients and how you can start to heal. Like with Dr. Thaddeus Gala, you can actually heal from the inside out from just about anything if you have a clear central nervous system with no interference to it and you fuel it the right way and the mindset. So Dr. Josh Axe and myself, we get really into it. Robin Openshaw, holy cow, this woman is so cool. She is AKA the Green Smoothie Girl, which many of you heard of. We get into tons of nutrition. Her backstory is really, really interesting into where she is now. She has transformed her life, her family's life, and all the people around her that she gets to interact with online as well as in person. She makes huge impacts in people's health via the world of nutrition. Ben Greenfield, we get into biohacking 101. For those of you that haven't heard of Ben Greenfield, you should. If you're into that biohacking type of stuff, we dive in and have some really cool conversations. I hope to get him on the show again, and we can dive into maybe some specific topics, which I think will be beneficial to everybody. And we'll decide what that will be when we get there. Ben Silverman, PGA golfer, talk about performance and the things he does to actually perform at the levels that he has to perform. Great episode. We actually filmed that one live and then put it onto made it a podcast. Dr. Jason Piken also getting into the nutrition world and functional medicines type things, but we dive into all things health. This guy's really cool. I hope you dive in and listen to him. And next is Lance Roll. This guy is known as the bone broth guy. He makes organic, amazing bone broth out in California. His company is very strict on the ingredients that go into their bone broths, and strict on how they're made so things don't get tainted like other products around the country and the world. His are so good and so clean. You can actually order them online and they'll actually ship them to you frozen. Okay, so you can get them and the quality is awesome. It'll help heal your gut, help do awesome things in your body. Dr. Stephen Lin, this guy is a badass dentist from down under, and he's got a book called The Dental Diet and talks about things like the microbiome. And I know some of you have heard of microbiome, but we get into the oral microbiome, right? The biome that we have actually lives in our mouth after everything starts. So it goes from there and then into our body. So this is a really interesting topic. We kind of go on for a while, and the connections between, some dental health and even spinal health, how they're interconnected. It's really neat. We get to Tiffany Flayton, Erin Knight, and these women are very powerful. We get into headaches. We get into performing your best. These two women are powerhouses in the wellness world, and you definitely need to connect with them. Get into their episodes. You will absolutely love them. We have a wild guy named Dr. Billy DeMoss, chiropractor, all sorts of fired up. Well, we get into all sorts of cool things with Billy. He's a wild dude. I think you'll all appreciate him. This guy's got more energy than 6 people I know. I think he just turned 60, and man, he's amped up. This guy's a crazy surfer, all sorts of craziness. Definitely jump in on the Billy DeMoss podcast. Dane Johnson. This guy is actually pretty interesting. We met at an event and we got to talking, and he's like, wow, it's a pretty interesting thing that you're doing with Lifestyle Locker. And I was like, oh, I should probably get this guy on. His story is really neat. He's a model. I don't know if you consider him a supermodel or whatever it may be, but a model that got so sick from high stress, from poor lifestyle, and this guy nearly died in bed, and he was able to change and turn his whole life around, and now he's on fire helping people heal from the inside out the same way. Who we got here? We got where am I? Holy cow! We got Dr. Amatma. She's I'm going to use the wording right. She is like a prenatal holistic doctor that works with moms and dads to be, either whether they're pregnant or not, and doing things and cleaning up your diet and cleaning up your health, if you will, as you're going through pregnancy, because we got those 9 months in there where the development is happening, where everything from people's attitudes to the fuel and food we put in our body will affect that fetus, that almost to be newborn child. We get into, who else we got here? We got Brody Welch. We get into some really cool acupuncture things, energy, yin and yang. This is really neat because I know very little about acupuncture, and this episode was really great. It brought tons and tons of knowledge. She's a great, awesome person to jump in on. Emily Fletcher, another superstar in the meditation world. She also help you do meditation for performance. Definitely check her out. I've done her program. It's absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommended. Dr. Evan Hirsch, doctor out on the west coast of the U.S. This guy, super cool, healing things from Lyme disease and other things. All these docs are so cool. They all have their unique procedures and protocols they do, but their main focus is to help people get well without the use of drugs and surgery. How cool is that, right? How cool is that? Like Kendra Becker-Masante, she is a functional medicine doc that deals with genetics. Really cool. She's someone you definitely want to connect with, maybe learn more about what she does and helping get down to that genetic level of health. Really neat stuff. Christina Bjorndal, she is out of Canada. She is really neat. What do you call it? She's a headspace person. So get it. Her books are actually pretty interesting. I've had a chance to read through one of them. But get in and dive into how she goes through certain conditions and how food can help, mental issues and conditions and healing yourself. It's really cool mindset type stuff. Dr. Jennifer Cronin as well. We kind of get into food and movement and lifestyle. Nicholas Pinot, if I'm saying that right, he is he's like the EMF dude. If you haven't heard of him, his episode is really cool. He has a French accent and awesome to listen to. Super knowledgeable. And he's got a book that people rave about as far as the EMF world, since this guy's very well studied. Very well studied. Angelique Panago, she's from across the pond, the UK, has an awesome book on food and how you can heal yourself with food. And her interview is really great. Another one with an amazing accent where you kind of just get sucked in and can listen over and over again. Absolutely love her. David Friedman is also another food guy. So we had a lot of food people up here. The next few are actually. And the David Friedman, we talk about interesting about diets and are diets really things, and all these different things like food fads versus fiction. His book is really cool. But look up Dr. David Friedman, brain when it comes to and researcher really when it comes to food and nutrition and diets and fads and fiction. We also had Catherine Arnston. She is the CEO of a company called Energy Bits. These are actually products that I actually take every day. They are chlorella and spirulina. They are absolutely amazing. They give me tons of energy. They help with detox. They help with sore muscles. Her episode, we kind of get into the nerdy science of why she actually created this product. It was more out of a need for health, for family, and it just she went running with it, but she realized the health benefits were so huge, and nobody was doing it as good as her company is doing it. Jason Prowl, this guy's a badass also. He has a docuseries called The Human Longevity Project, and I highly recommend Googling it and going through the series. I don't remember how many videos were in this series, but very worth going through. He goes over things called blue zones, areas where people are living super duper healthy lives. Start studying what they're doing so you can start to mirror and learn what these people are doing so you can do it yourself. Very cool. Paul Chek. For those of you that haven't heard of Paul Chek, he runs something called the Chek Institute. This guy is a self-taught superhuman. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this guy is, smarter than most people I think I've ever met. And I feel like I can talk to him about anything in health and longevity, and he probably read 10 books on any subject I brought to him. You want to listen to his episode. We'll be doing another episode. It is in the works. We have spoke about it when we were running the first episode, and they're very excited to do another episode. We just have to pick a good topic. Del Bigtree. This guy will wake you up to the world of what is going on with big pharma and how what they're doing is affecting your health of you and your kids. Also about freedoms and living in the U.S. alone. This guy has a company called ICAN. What is it? ICAN. Informed Consent Action Network. Wow, I'm glad I remember that. That's pretty impressive. Informed Consent Action Network. I think that's right. Look up Del Bigtree. He's got a live show on Facebook and YouTube and pretty much everywhere. I think you can have live shows online called High Wire TV. He is awesome. This guy used to be a producer on the show The Doctors, and his story is pretty wild on why he's not anymore. So you definitely want to listen to that. We have some really cool other people. I'm just going to kind of run through this since I'm running myself out of time here. But more recently, I hope we've listened to some of these, like Kimberly Maravich on on health, Isaiah Hankel on leadership and business, Marisol Tijero, she is awesome. That was our episode on farting and pooping. That's when my wife said I need to get somebody on farting and pooping. And just jump forward, the second person she said I need to get something is on sleep, and that was Dr. Michael Bruce, who was a very, very recent episode. Both of them, or all of the ones I just mentioned, absolutely amazing. Brandon Denovi, super cool guy on peak performance and just doing everything better and having, he's a fitness fanatic. This guy's a beast, right? He's like, Arnold. No, not really, but he's a strong, big guy, really studies on focusing human performance from the business level all the way down to the fitness level. Joe Schoenfelder, amazing young kid. She owns a company called Nalu, Nalu, and they're like the Toms of the clothing company. They're saving children around the world from going into bad things by helping keep them in education by doing something simple and powerful, like giving them school uniforms. Very, very cool. Mihaela Telekan, really neat story over, from growing up in a communist country to becoming an American citizen and going and diving into nutrition and using some of these amazing principles of simplicity to help you live a long, healthy life. Tom Foxley, super cool dude, another guy from across the pond. I think they call him a Marines. He's retired, however they say it, but he was a Marine over in the UK. And CrossFit athlete. And what's great about him, he has some really cool sayings. He goes into a lot with mindset. He's got a company called Mindset RX. And he has something that really stuck with me, this is a more recent one, is something called AMWAPS, AMWAPS, which is as many wins as possible. And this is something that I apply daily. When I get frustrated if something doesn't go my way, what I do is I just got to think in my head for a second, take a pause and go, all right, what are my little wins for today? What are my little wins? All right, so that's Tom Foxley. The Happy Healthy guys. These two knuckleheads were absolutely amazing. So jump in. These guys talk about something called SCT oil and a diet that helped save one of them from cancer, save the other from extreme pain. Jump in on the episode with the Happy Healthy guys and connect with them with all their details there. Obviously, everybody's there in the show notes. We already mentioned Dr. Michael Bruce, the actual sleep doctor. This guy is super intelligent, super fun interview, tons of energy, and smart as heck. Absolutely smart as heck. And the last interview, which we just published, was with Todd Vandehei. This guy is like the living, breathing Iron Man. I don't mean like the guy that runs bikes and swims. I mean like Iron Man, like the Marvel comic Iron Man. This guy has reshaped his health and his life from like sick and dying and super unhealthy to this machine of health where he measures everything. He's like his own very own science project. So I highly recommend jumping into that one. So that's kind of a little overview. I want to let you know where we're also going. We're looking for more people and new people to interview and all sorts of different topics, lifestyle. If you have someone you want us to interview, you'd love to have on this show, you know what? You can do two things. You can connect us via email or via Facebook, which is actually probably the better way. Email is drjosh@lifestylelocker.com. And you can also connect us through Facebook or through Instagram. I love connecting with people that are influential in the health and fitness and nutrition and lifestyle world because people need to be healthier. We're going to live longer than we ever thought, and I want you to get there in an awesome way. I want you to have the best human potential. I want you to be wealthy, healthy, all the above, have great relationships. So we've got great people coming up and new people. New people. We said that already. We're working on a project to hopefully have most, if not all, of the people who are already on the show jump in on a Facebook Live over the next 30 to 40 weeks of the year here, or going into the next year, so we can create more podcast content, but also connect with them live, maybe even take some questions as we go, as we do some short, 5, 10, 15-minute interviews to see where people are now. And that's it, people. I'm excited. putting that out there. I hope you all enjoyed this little overview. I have a couple, tricks up my sleeve here for all of you. Hopefully get some more, I should say more. Get you some powerhouses in the money world, some powerhouses in the fitness world, some powerhouses in the nutrition world. And, I'm looking for also for people that are in business that have healthy habits which help them with their business. So I want to share all aspects of lifestyle with people. So if you know any of those, please send them my way as well. So that's it, Locker Nation. Have an awesome day, evening, night, wherever this may be for you. And we'll see you on the flip side. All right. Peace out. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for listening to that episode of me rant, but I really want to thank and be grateful for everyone that has contributed to Lifestyle Locker Radio. The guests are absolutely amazing. Much gratitude to them. And I also want to let you know that if you are listening to this for the first time, you just got a little overview of a ton of episodes, and you can actually jump back and listen and download any that you want and just dive into each one. They're all fantastic. I also want to thank you for those of you that have been looking at and been purchasing our 45-day Lifestyle Locker Endurance Challenge. I'll leave the details in the show notes, but it is a running program for endurance athletes. It's how to hack endurance in 45 days and how I actually hacked my last ultra marathon in just 90 days. You can do the same thing. Just dive in, listen, and learn. And lastly, for all of you listening, much gratitude to you as well. You have gone and come a long way. If you've been listening to most of these episodes, you've gotten an education in health, well-being, longevity, finances, relationships, and so many more things. So thank you so much for doing that, and I look forward to sharing more with you as the years come on and go by. All right, Locker Nation, peace out. Have an awesome one. Bye-bye.